Welcome to the AI-powered course creator replay. In this workshop, I'm going to walk you through creating a course from start to finish using AI. And I'm going to offer at the end a special bonus for anyone who's interested in the 30-day challenge that's going to start on Sunday, June 1st. Here we go. So what we're going to do is start today, and my goal is that you'll leave here with actually a fully built out course and be able to have that designed so that the goal is within 30 days that you could have your course created, get the content that you need for it, and then be able to publish and monetize it. Okay, perfect. We are going to start by planning out the course. So I've created a custom GPT and it's called the Course Crafter. And you'll notice I actually have it over here on my left-hand side. So I'll just click there, but that link is also in your document that I shared. So when I click, let's get started, it's going to ask me a few questions. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. Let's create something amazing together. Before we dive in, I have a few questions. What's your course topic or big idea? Who's your ideal audience? Your goal for your learners? What should they be able to do after completing the course? How long would you like it to be? And then what kind of delivery are you thinking? So you'll answer these questions. And I don't know if you use this tool, but there's a little icon here on ChatGPT that I absolutely love. And it is a dictate icon. So I'm going to click here and I'll just answer the questions. And I'm going to go ahead and use this for a course that I'm actually going to be teaching. We'll try this out. Okay, so the topic that I'm going to be teaching my course on is how educators can use AI in the classroom. The big idea that I really want to focus on is using Notebook LM. The ideal audience will be professional educators they could either be starting out in their career or having taught a while. My goal for them is after they complete the course to be able to utilize Notebook LM for multiple purposes, both within their field and also to have students use it. I would like the course to be a 3-hour course, and it's going to have a combination of video lessons, and I'll want to create some PDF for them, and then maybe some handouts that they might need to help them with that. And then I guess I'm ready. So you just push that check mark, and then it just takes all of that content that we just said, and we push that little arrow, and then awesome. So here we go. We're going to map out a 3-hour course structured into 5 to 6 modules, each with 3 to 4 short focused lessons. Each module will include clear learning outcomes, suggestions for videos, PDFs, and handouts, light assessments or reflection prompts to keep things practical. So before I dive in and sketch out that full outline, a couple quick things to make sure we're aligned. Are your learners mostly K-12 teachers? It wants to know, would I prefer more of a tutorial-driven tone? I think for this one, it's more concept-based. And then are there any must-cover scenarios? Okay. So my learners for this example are mostly K-12 teachers. I would prefer to give them the concepts and be able to talk more about integration ideas rather than step by step. And then I would love to show use case scenarios for lesson planning and student research support. Okay, so then once it has that, we're aiming for K-12 teachers, conceptual strategy focused tone, integration ideas. Okay, so now it's going to help me to draft a course outline. And basically what it's going to do is take all of that content and break it down into the modules. It's going to break down the lessons, have the outcome that they'll have, and then even offer some media suggestions. So like a short video intro, create a PDF, top 5 AI tools for educators, and then have a reflection prompt. Here's module 2, lesson planning with Notebook LM. Module 3, supporting student research. Module 4, integrating AI into the everyday. Module 5, getting started in growing forward. Now, if I'm being honest, that is probably, as I'm looking at it, that's a lot of content in 3 hours. So there may be some pieces that I'm like, that's too much. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but this gets us started with our general idea. Now, before I go any further, I happened to know what my topic was, but let's say you're just starting out and you're not sure about that. So I'm going to open another tab and I'm going to actually enter the prompts that you might want to try. So I'm going to grab ChatGPT and I'm going to go back into the course crafter prompt. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste in the first prompt. So help me brainstorm 3 to 5 profitable course topics based on my background in AI. Okay, so these are just some different courses that it could create for me. AI for busy entrepreneurs, build your own AI assistant, no code tools for creators, AI prompt engineering mastery, writing prompts that get results, AI strategy for decision makers, what every leader needs to know, the AI creators toolkit, content production with generative AI. So now what I can do, and if you want to be using this, you can absolutely copy the document, and I'll pull that over here. You can copy this document, go to File, make a copy, and then feel free to write your ideas in here. So let me give you a second to try that out. And if you will, in the chat, just put in something that you're thinking of the topic that you want to create for your course. So again, you just copy and paste that prompt and it'll give you some ideas and you can actually write those on your document if you'd like. And the next prompt that we're going to use is, what are the top frustrations or goals that people have around this? And I'm going to, for this example, I'm actually going to switch because I don't like any of those topics. So I'm going to go back into where I've already done all this work. But I am going to ask this question: what are the top frustrations or goals people have around my course idea? And the reason we're doing this question or this prompt is to get more information on what our users need. So here are some of the top frustrations my audience might have. I don't have time to learn a whole new tool. I'm nervous about using AI with students. There's no clear training or guidance from my district. AI looks cool, but I don't see how this fits into my curriculum. I don't want to rely on something I don't understand. So this also helps us with defining our goals. So I'm going to feel more confident. And here's why people would pay to solve this problem. So again, I'm kind of putting all of this into the conversation and it's all together so that later when I want to create materials that will help me to advertise, those will all be there. So the next prompt that I'm going to ask is right here. And again, if you want to paste any of those in there, you absolutely can. The prompt 3 is, help me outline a simple plan to solve this problem step by step. And they kind of already did that, but I'll show you again, just so we're following the prompt directions. I got a little too excited there at the beginning. Okay, so here's a simple step-by-step plan to solve that problem. So we have, it addresses hesitations, positions course as a must-have. So again, those are still around problem solving, really. Those are like our touch points that we're going to be able to use in our advertising. Okay, so now prompt number 4, come up with 10 creative benefit-driven course name ideas for a program that helps people. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste. That's a helps people with, for my particular example, Notebook LM. So now I have a title for my class that I'm going to teach. I like this one. Smart Notebooks, Automate Your Thinking with LLMs. Now, I might want to say, hey, can you refine this for you guys? Of all days, I'm so sure you can hear all of the construction at my house. They have decided to pour concrete right in the middle of my presentation, but that's okay. We'll just make do. Sorry about that if you can hear it. Can you actually help me to create titles that are based around teachers using Notebook LM? Oh, you okay? And I see what I did. I have 2 tabs open. That's why. Oh my goodness. So let's copy. We got to paste it here. So this is back to getting our title. Let's try this again. I was wondering, those titles didn't quite make sense. Okay, there we go. Much better. Notebook LM unlocked AI for lesson plans, learning, and beyond. That's pretty awesome. AI made easy, confident teaching with Notebook LM. Classroom Copilot teaching smarter with Notebook LM. So I'm actually going to grab this one. Now, again, if you want to be using that handout I gave to you, totally fine. If you also just want to grab a Google Doc and paste some of these ideas there, you can do that too. So for today, I'm just going to create a new document so that we can have it all kind of in one place. So here's my title. And then next for you all is to get a one sentence promise that describes what students will achieve with my course. By the end of the course, you'll be able to do this without this. So I'm going to copy that prompt, come back over here and paste it again. Okay, so by the end of this course, you'll be able to confidently integrate Notebook LM into your teaching and student activities without feeling overwhelmed by AI or unsure how it fits in your classroom. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to put it over here. So now we have our class title. There's their one sentence objective of what they're going to be able to do. And then prompt number 6 is to help me brainstorm the ideal student for this course. What are their goals, fears, and current situation? And so here is my ideal student, my goals, and their fears or frustrations, and their current situations. So again, this is more for my marketing than anything else. It's not something that I'm going to use necessarily within my course, but that's all good information to kind of have. And then now if you want to prompt, even though I did this very first thing, you can say, okay, let's lay out the course for me. And that's where I'm going to grab all of these instructions for my modules, okay? So here we go. Module 1 through 5. And I'm going to insert a new page, and I'll paste all of that here. So now basically I have the entire sketch or framework of my course laid out. So I'm going to pause there and I'm going to ask if there's any questions about the things that I've done so far. So pop in the chat a thumbs up, or if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so I'm going to assume that everything's good and everybody is feeling good about everything so far. Perfect. Okay, step 2 was to design our course outline, which we did. And then step 3 is going to be to build the content for the course. And this is where you can really get creative in how you're building it. So you need to kind of think about if you're going to be face to face, you're going to be doing this live, or if it's going to be recorded. So pop in the chat if you're which way you're thinking, if you want it to be a pre-recorded session or modules that they follow independently, or is it going to be a live course? And okay, thanks. So live, if you're teaching live, then some of these things that I'm going to show you may not be necessarily helpful, but they could be things that you refer back to. So, like right now, I'm teaching this course live, I'm throwing a bunch of stuff at you, but later I'm going to want you to go in and dive deeper into the concepts. And so, I've actually created like a module where it has all of the things that we're talking about with links and tools to support the user. I'm going to show you some of the ideas that I'm going to suggest here. Now, these are things that you can dive deeper in later. I'm just right now going to tell you about the tools that I use and how they're helpful, but we're not actually going to open any of them up because it'll take way too much time. Okay. So if you're going to record video, there's lots of different tools out there. It could be as simple as opening up a Zoom call and recording yourself talking. That would be a perfect way to capture video. I recommend Descript, and I like Descript because it has video and audio features. And then what you can do is go in and it's just got super easy editing so that if there's a part that you don't like or a part that you messed up, you just cut and paste it out. Super easy. And then I upload all of those onto my YouTube channel. And if I don't want people to see them, I can mark them to private so that they're only live in my course because they have the link and they can see it. Okay. For creating handouts, there are some tools that I would highly recommend. One is using Canva, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, but then also there's something called Gamma, which is just, it'll blow your mind if you haven't used it yet. And for Gamma, you can go in and create all different kinds of handouts, PDFs, slideshows, anything that you dump information into. If you already have, let's say, a presentation created, it can take that and literally make you a PDF in 5 seconds flat. And then you have that to be able to give to people. Napkin AI is another one, and it does graphics that are amazing. The audio, I recommend if you want to make an audio clip to use Notebook LM. That was the thing I was talking about before. I am going to show you this one because I think it's so cool. But basically, if you're in Notebook LM and you've created a notebook, you can load, it'll take all the materials that you have collected and create an audio file of all of the topics. And then you could put that in your course. And then FormWise is another one that allows you to create like custom GPTs, and you can create some different GPTs using that tool that you can then embed into your course. Okay. So I know that was a lot of just like random tools thrown at you, but these are the ones that I highly suggest exploring. Now, again, we do not have time to cover all of those today, So, what I've actually done is created a course for you, if you're interested, that will teach you how to use all of these things, okay? All of these tools. Now, step number 4 is going to be to create the course, okay? So, what I would suggest is that you're going to have a couple of different things. You're going to want, in order to sell your course, a landing page, okay? And I actually use a tool called Go High Level. And I'm going to show you what it looks like here in a second, but I just want to explain the idea that you have to sell the course, and then you have to have, like, your payment set up for that. And then the second part is to actually, if you want people to work through like independently or have additional materials for the course, to have those available. So let me show you what this looks like. And this is my landing page. So here we go. Join the 30-day course creator challenge. This challenge is a free 30-day trial to Go High Level. You get access to self-paced online course materials. There'll be weekly office hours for live Q&A and troubleshooting. And I put the goal here. It's to launch a functional online course using Go High Level in just 30 days. Here's the course breakdown, the first week. And I've set it up for this particular course that they're just going to get a little bit of the content, one piece at a time. So week 1, plan your profitable course. Week 2, create your course content. Week 3, build your backend. And then week 4, set up your sales. And then the final days are launch and support. And then I have here a system. They will fill this out, and then it will take them to get like an automated email with information on how to access and get into the course. Now, I want to take a minute to show you what this could look like if you're interested in creating a course. Because again, it's always important to have a house or a place to house your materials. Now, some of you might be saying, I can accomplish this with creating a Google Doc, just like you did here. Totally fine. You could do that. You could even, if you so wanted, to add your videos or materials right within this Google Doc. And you could say, okay, sign up for my course. Here's the materials. You just send them this Google Doc and you're done. Another idea is to create an actual online course. And here is what that might look like. So this is Go High Level. These are some of the courses that I've created. One that I have is called How to Train Your Robot. And this one is a really fun one that has different tools. I'll just show you. So this is the course content. For this one, I just had, this is like my welcome. Let's see if I can preview it. I don't know if it'll let me. No, it's not set up. Basically, here is like my welcome message that I've created. I have little video thumbnail. So as a user, when you come in, I think I have to change a setting for some reason. I don't know why this is not showing. You can watch the video. Hey friends, welcome to the, okay. And then it has content description. You can add files in here. And I know I'm going over a lot and that you might be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is too much. And that's okay. These are just, I just want you to get the idea that you can actually build out all of your lessons here on High Level. Okay. So let me go. Here's the 30-day course creator challenge. So like for this one, here's my welcome module. Here are my lessons. Your $1 million idea. So this is where you come up with your course idea. This is where you come up with your course blueprint. And there's that GPT that we used, some templates. And then these are the other pieces. You'll notice these are in draft mode, and that's because they're going to come later. It's kind of like a drip campaign, I'm going to give them the first week here. These are the modules I want to do the first week. And then the second week, I'll open up the other modules so that people can get access to it. So I'm going to pause for just a second and check in with everyone and see if you have any questions on creating, like, you would need a landing page, and then your content would be housed in there. Now you might be saying, well, what content is that? And that's what we brainstormed over in our GPT. Okay. So when I'm over here and I have my modules, now I might come back to this. And let's say if you ever have a situation where you're like, where in the world did that chat go? Because I have so many chats that I use. Over on the left-hand side, it will actually have these here. So this is my chat. So I'm going to rename this to say my course. And that way, if I ever lose it, I can just search at the top and then find this chat. So I'm going to say, although I think I did it again, this is the one. Okay, nope, this is it. Okay, so let's say I want to flesh out lesson 1. Okay, so I like to talk. It's easier than typing. We'll say, okay, I am ready to start fleshing out the lesson. So I'm going to work on module 1. And the first lesson is, what is AI doing in our schools? The outcome is to understand current AI trends in K-12 education. Could you write a script for this module that I can put for people to read? And then I want you to create a script for me for video. Now, you guys, this is a game changer. What this would have taken hours before because I would have had to think of all this content, but now I can actually just write it out and have chat help me with it. So here's my written lesson script. So this is what I would copy. And you know what? I'm actually going to show you how easy it is to make a course in Go High Level. I'm just going to do this real quick for you. Courses, products. Let's create a new product. Start from scratch. I'm going to make a sprint course. And if you guys have things like already created in Kajabi, what I love about Go High Level is that it has everything in it. It has course creation. It has an email system. It has the landing page creation. It has everything. And it's only $97 a month. So it is super, super cheap. And what I did is I brought everything that I did in my business over to Go High Level. So it's super easy. So the name of this product is going to be, oh, I forgot what we named the course. Did we call it? Classroom Copilot, Teaching Smarter with Notebook LM. Teaching Smarter with Notebook LM. Okay, so I'm going to create the product. And it starts off with the course contents already created, but you don't have to. You can rework any of these as you want. So I would probably create a category and I'll do module 1, save, create a category, module 2. So you see the idea. I'm basically structuring this the same way that I did from my outline, right? And so for module 1, this first lesson is going to be lesson 1, 1, or maybe 1.1. And then when I go in here, see, I can upload a video. So if I have something created, I would just attach it there. I'm going to put in the description, here is what we had from chat, right? Now, here is a video script. So if I wanted to create a video, I could totally do it right there. And then let's move on to lesson 1.2. Okay, so lesson 1.2 is Meet Notebook LM, your research partner. Let's build it out. I'll give you, and see, it knows already that this is what it wants me to have: a written script and a video script, okay? And so now I just click save, and I can go back to product. And then right here, I can just add within this module, lesson 2.2, Meet Notebook LM, and then I'll grab this written script here. This is seriously so awesome. Okay, so then to edit and add in there, I click here, and then I can paste this content. So it's kind of like, for me, this one is creating this own like self-paced class that people can do. And what's nice about it is once I have it built out, I am really just on rinse and repeat. I'm going to be able to just have my landing page up. People can come in, work through the content. What I like to also do is add some kind of accountability. And I think that's awesome when you can have like Q&A sessions or like a live Zoom, so that you're not going over the content. They can do that part on their own. And then you're coming in live to answer questions. So again, that is all on Go High Level under sites. That's where you build out your funnel. But really, then people just get access to this course, and you can create multiple courses if you want. So I'm going to pause now, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I know someone came in a little bit late, but I'm going to share that document again so that everybody has that. And I'll stop here and I'll just ask if anybody has any questions or something you were wondering about or an idea that sparked you. Okay. Well, with that, I know that we have covered a ton of information, and there's no way, probably this, if you're just getting started, is something that you may have more questions about as we go. But I did want to share with you that I have created a free 30-day challenge, okay? And how this is going to work, and I'm going to share the link here. If you want to be a part of this, basically, we're going to have 4 weeks where we tackle a little bit of your course each week at a time. Okay. So, week 1 would be this week, and it's going to be based on planning your profitable course. So, you're going to clarify your topic, your audience, and outcomes, and then outline your modules and lessons using AI, which is kind of what we did at the beginning, right? Week 2 is going to be to create your content. So you're going to go in and make your any YouTube videos or prep your slides or create your downloads, whatever you want to get prepared. And then if you want to house that on Go High Level, like I showed you, we'll get those materials ready to go. The third week, we're going to build the back end. We'll have set up the membership areas, the funnels, the course access system, all those pieces. And then the last week, set up your sales. So if that is something that you would like to do, I put the link to that at the end of the document there. So if you want to do that with the course within the next 3 days, if you sign up, it's free for the first month. And then, like I said earlier, High Level is like $97 a month after that, but it houses everything. So if that sounds interesting to you, sign up for this 30-day challenge, and then you'll have your course built out, ready to sell after that first month. And then obviously, if you don't want it to be housed on high level, you can still take this challenge and do the challenge along with us and then just cancel your membership before that time is up. Okay, friends, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you got some benefit out of this and you will be able to create your own course now.